Do you know what happens to the food after you eat it? Most of the food items that we like to eat is because of their taste. But taste seems so superficial once we learn about how nutrition is taken up by our body. First, the food is cut and crushed by our teeth and then mixed with saliva in the mouth. This process is called mastication. Saliva is secreted by 3 salivary glands, 1 in the palate and 2 below the tongue. The alimentary canal is this long tube that passes from the mouth to the anus. Saliva has an enzyme in it called ptyalin, which breaks down complex carbohydrates into simple ones. The tongue helps in mixing and pushing the food down the esophagus or the food pipe. There are wave-like movements in the food pipe and stomach to ensure that the food is going downwards. This movement is called peristaltic movement. The stomach releases an enzyme called pepsin and HCl. These help in breaking down the proteins in the food, and the food is now in the form of a soft, slimy substance from which proteins and carbohydrates are already broken down. This slimy food substance is known as chyme. After all this food is sent to the small intestine through pyloric sphincters. The sphincters are responsible for controlling the opening of the passage into the small intestine so that only small quantities of food get passed at a time. Small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. It receives the secretions of bile juice from liver and pancreatic juices from the pancreas, and then further digestion of proteins, carbohydrates and fats takes place. These juices make the food alkaline or basic in nature. Bile juice breaks down fats into smaller globules, and this process is called emulsification. Pancreatic juice consists an enzyme trypsin that breaks down proteins and fats. As the food becomes alkaline, the enzymes become more active to break down carbohydrates. The small finger-like projections present in the small intestine, called villi, absorb nutrients and send it to the blood. After maximum absorption of food in small intestine, the rest is passed on to large intestine where most of the water is absorbed and the rest of the undigested food is expelled from the anus. This is known as defecation. So what have we learned today? We have learned about nutrition in human beings. Until next time, happy learning!